All right, welcome back to our 2023 Stanley Cup playoff previews. This will be our last one for round one, and we will wrap things up with Colorado and Seattle. Now, Seattle, happy to be here, I bet. I don't think there's much stress on them to perform too well. I think the fans are very happy just to see them in the playoffs. So it's already strides in the right direction. Props to Dave Haxtell for bouncing back after a very poor season in their first year. And they've done a great job for themselves here in their second year of existence. All right, so before we get started with the preview, let's take a look at our bracket here. If you haven't watched my bracket challenge video yet, do consider watching that. And without further ado, let's get started with the preview. All right, so Colorado and Seattle, game one on Tuesday, April the 18th in Colorado at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Let's start with the Avalanche. We're 51-24-7 on the year, 109 points. They scored 274 goals and allowed 223. Their top six skaters, Valeri Nichushkin, Nathan MacKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Evan Rodriguez, JT Compher, Arturi Lehkonen, obviously Landeskog. He will be injured or sidelined for the rest of the playoffs, so he'll be out. For the defense, we have Devon Taves, Cale Makar, Samuel Girard, Bowen Byron. Their goaltending, Alexander Georgiev, 40, 16, and 6 on the year, 2.53 goals against average, 919 save percentage. First real year as a starter, 40 wins of the year. Very good achievement for him. Pavel Francouz will be the backup once again for the playoffs. 8-7-1 on the year, 2.61 goals against average, 915 save percentage. I think he will be ready for playoff hockey if needed, because he does have more experience than Georgiev in said role. Power play for Colorado, 24.5%, which is 6th in the league. Penalty killing at 79%, 17th in the league. Season series did go to Seattle, and they won 2 of those 3 games. So Colorado did lose the season series here, which is a little surprising. For the Seattle Kraken, 46-28-8 on the year, 100 points, 289 goals for, 252 goals against. Their top 6 skaters, Jared McCann, Matty Beniers, Jordan Eberle, Oliver Yorkstrand, Yanni Gord, Eli Tolvanen. Their top 4 defense, Johan Larsson, Vince Dunn, Justin Schultz, Carson Soucy. Their goaltending, Martin Jones, 27, 13, and 3 on the year, 2.99 goals against average, 887 save percentage. Philip Grubauer, 17, 14, and 4 on the year, 2.85 goals against average, 1895 save percentage. Special teams are both 21st in the league in their respective categories, 19.8% on the power play, 76.7% on the PK. All right, so let's go over some storylines here. Colorado Avalanche, obviously coming off their cup win last year, will begin their title defense against a newbie in the playoffs in Seattle Kraken. Now, the Avalanche have lost some pieces from their team last year in Burakovsky, and they will lose their captain, Gabriel Landeskog, for the playoffs here. So it's going to be a little bit harder for them, I think. Even without them, though, they have gone third best in points percentage since January the 14th and 31-7-4 record in the second half of the season, and they were able to win the Central Division. So, yeah, it was close, but they did it. And I'm sure they are much more happy playing Seattle than playing either Minnesota or Dallas. So, good for Colorado for achieving first in the division. Now the big players here, obviously Nathan McKinnon, a proven playoff performer, third in NHL history in points per game, just behind Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux. And of course, McKinnon in a very good year as well, 111 points in his 71 games. Who knows how many more points he would have had if he played all 82. For the Kraken, Jared McCann, obviously, 40-goal season for him. So a pretty breakout year for him. And we'll see if he can play that larger role in Seattle. Goaltending, I think, is going to be a question on both sides. For Colorado, it is going to be Georgiev probably playing the bulk of the games here. And yeah, not much experience for him in the playoffs. He did back up Shesterkin when he was on the New York Rangers. I believe he played 2 games in relief. So not much experience there. So Pavel Francouz might have a start or 2 here and there as well. For Seattle, both goaltenders under 900 save percentage. So obviously we have some questions there on how good they can play. They will have to turn it up for sure against a very, very good Colorado team. Probably going to be Martin Jones for Seattle to start. All right, so the keys to victory for both teams is their paths to victory. Colorado just needs to keep playing how they've been playing for this second half of the regular season. And if Georgiev can show up, Colorado should be a shoo-in for this round, a shoo-in for round 2. And for the Kraken, they do have quite a bit of depth here. So if they use their depth to their advantage, maybe if they can limit the Colorado top players and they win the other matchups in the bottom 3 lines, maybe they have a chance. And if Grubauer potentially plays how he did when he was a Vezina finalist, or a Vezina winner, I think. Yeah, no, Vezina finalist. If he plays like that, maybe Seattle has an off chance to win this. All right, so let's go over some stats here. Top 3 forwards for Colorado: McKinnon, Rantanen, and Confer. Obviously, Landeskog would be here, but he missed the entire year, so yeah. And Kilmakar, 66 points, and Devon Taves, 50. For Seattle, McCann was 70 points, I believe, 63. Many years, probably going to win the Calder, 57 points. Vince Dunn, 64 points, and Justin Schultz, 34. So I do think Colorado is going to win this series. I'm going to predict them in 6 games. I think the Seattle Kraken aren't to be underestimated. I do think they have less stress on them because they've made it to the playoffs and now they just want to get as far as possible. There were no huge expectations for them this year, so I think they're happy to be here and they'll try to give Colorado as much as they can handle. I think it's going to be a fun series of a lot of scoring probably as well. So it's going to be a fun one here. All right, so that's going to be it for my first round previews. I hope you enjoyed all of them. Let me know who you think is going to win this matchup and all the rest of the round 1 matchups in the comment section below. And we'll see you for more hockey coverage later on in May. So stay tuned. I don't know if I'll do round 2 previews. I will be out of town for right when round 2 is starting, so I might not be able to do the normal round 2 previews. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, so that's going to be it from me here. We'll see you later. Take care.